The Pied Piper, a story from the Middle Ages, written down in books by Johann Wolfgang Goethe and the Brithers Grimm. So, a long time ago, in a little village in Germany called Hamlin, there was a plague and everybody was suffering. The plague was that the whole village, it was almost like a little town with a nice little river going through it, that they were plagued by rats. The rats were everywhere. They were down in the gutter. They came into the houses at night. They would eat in the corn store. They would go into the cupboards, gnaw through the doors, and eat food that the people had stored. So there was many meetings that were held with the mayor, with the Bürgermeister, but no solution was found. They tried to poison them. They tried all sorts. It was a grave, grave situation. But one day, the Pied Piper came to town, and he saw and heard that the people were very, very upset, and they had been upset for quite a while, for a long time. So he spoke to some of them, and they told him to go to the Bürgermeister, the mayor of the town, the little village, the little town. So that's what happened. The Pied Piper walked up to the mayor's house, knocked on his door, and said, "Well, I'm the Pied Piper. I know how to get rid of the rats." Said the mayor. "Well, that's fantastic. Well, how do you do it?" "Well, that's my secret. But I do want to have a small bag of gold as payment, because I know how much it means to you, and it is my way of living." So the Burgomaster promised him, "You shall have a small bag of gold, but only once the last rat has left." So the Pied Piper that same evening set about with his lovely flute. He played a melody that the rats could hear. And he went down all the little alleyways, he went down all the roads, he went down the main road, he walked through the whole village with his pipe, playing this melody. And one by one, all the rats followed him. Now, he then, when he was sure that all the rats were behind him, he walked out on the main road, out of the village, across the river. He walked and walked and walked till he came to a mountain. He walked over the mountain, and all the rats followed him. Every single one. There was no rat left in the village. Now, on the other side of the mountain, there was a lake. He walked into the lake, and as soon as it got too deep, he started swimming while still with one hand playing his flute, so the rats would follow him. He went right to the middle of the lake, where it was so deep that the rats got tired, couldn't swim, and they all perished, and they all sank down to the deep, deep end of the lake. The Pied Piper swam back. He walked up the mountain, and by that time he was already dry, because you can imagine his clothes were all soaking wet. He walked down into the little town. Some people preferred to call it a little village, but after all, it was a little town because it had a Bürgermeister, it had a mayor. So in he goes down the main road. He knocks on the door of the Bürgermeister. The door opens, and the Pied Piper said, "So, can I have my reward, please?" The Bürgermeister goes in. He opens the cupboard where he keeps all his gold, and he takes out one coin. He comes out and says, "Here it is. Here is your reward." But the Pied Piper said, "Well, we said that you give me a small bag of gold. That would be a dozen small coins." "That's all you'll get," the mayor said. "That's all you get." Then the Pied Piper was very, very sad, because the Bürgermeister, the mayor, would not stick to his word. Now the pied piper then took his pipe, he played a different tune. He played a tune that all the children in that little town loved. And he did the same. He walked through all the little alleyways, through all the little streets and the main road, and all the children followed him one by one till all the children of the whole little town were behind him. He then walked across the bridge, across the river. He walked up the mountain, and he found a little tunnel, a little grotto in the mountain, and he walked straight into the mountain, and all the children followed him. And from then on, nobody saw those children ever again. So that's the end of the story. Thank you for listening.